Hello, hello, welcome back. Thanks for joining me once again for your weekly Electric Avenue new release updates. Um, so thanks for joining me. It's funny. I don't obsess about how many people watch these things, but it's funny when I go look at some of these other YouTubers and see how many views they get for their weekly YouTube updates, and I feel like they're not really telling me anything that I can't find out. So I mean, I guess maybe that's the same for some of you with me, but I try to kind of give you at least some sort of insight or things that I know about things other than here I want your pre-order or something like that. So thanks for joining me. And, so every week from now until Record Store Day, which you probably know because I've talked about it quite a bit, April 22nd, it's a Saturday, 8 o'clock a.m. Mark your calendars. There's something sort of high profile every week from now until then. So, keep being on the lookout. You can watch these updates, but, there's a lot of stuff, and some of it's pretty exciting. But yeah, I would say if you're going to come out for Taylor Swift, you probably are going to want to be in line by 4 or 5 a.m. at least. I ordered a lot of them, and I'm just hoping that the more I order, the more I get. But you don't really know. I mean, I know that they're making a fair amount, but that being said, the power of her, things go really fast. And I assume there will probably be some people in line that will be the only thing that they're looking for, which is sort of, in a way, that's kind of depressing because you hope that they sort of have other interests as well, as great as Taylor is. So, but I think it's great that she's sort of paying more attention even this time than when she was an ambassador because and I am I'm talking about Record Store Day ambassadors, okay? It's not like she's the ambassador to Cuba or something. I don't know. Anyway, but no, what I was saying is I think that it's going to bring out a lot of people. So just be prepared. You'll get the people that have never done a Record Store Day before. And I've had people asking questions still about what is Record Store Day. There's a lot of new record buyers still. And so that is very kind of charming and uplifting that there are people still getting interested in this. So, that being said, let me get to the new releases for this week. Just keep your eyes out. There's next week, March 10th, we'll have the new Miley Cyrus, but also Cake Prolonging the Magic. So if you've been kind of collecting the Cake records and let's say that you didn't get that $300 box set for Record Store Day, you might want that. The 17th of March, the new U2, doing U2 and M83's new record. The 24th is a big day because that's the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon Day, where they are reissuing a live record from 1973 from that tour. There's also a box set with a remastered version of the album in it, which is great, but it's $300, and they're not selling the remastered Dark Side of the Moon on its own. So if you want the box set, you're either going to have to let me know that you want it, or you're going to have to set aside some cash for it because it's not going to be cheap. There's a great remastered version of it from 2016. So, other than, having a newly remastered version of it, not so sure what all of that money is for. Other things, though, that day, new Depeche Mode, which has been highly sort of talked about in the press, new Lana Del Rey, new Fall Out Boy, and Elton John's Honky Cat, the deluxe edition remaster vinyl, which is a 2-record set and has a bunch of bonus stuff. There's a version of Don't Shoot Me, I'm the Piano Player. I think I said that right. Coming out on, or I'm Just the Piano Player. That comes out on Record Store Day. So there will be 2 Elton albums with deluxe things. And that's April 22nd. Also, March 31st, Boy Genius, Phoebe Bridgers band. She and a couple other ladies there. Lucy Dacus, Julian Baker. And New Pornographer's new release featuring Nico Case, Destroyer, Great band. And then April 7th is the Linkin Park Meteora Deluxe set. And April 14th, the new Metallica. And then we're into Record Store Day. So a lot of stuff coming. All right. This week, New Genesis, BBC broadcasts. This is pretty cool. This is a 3-record set. Features highlights from everything from 1972 to 1992 on the vinyl. So this is a 3-record set, like I said. And the first track is The Musical Box from Paris, 1972. And the last track is, it's No Son of Mine and Driving the Last Spike from 1992. So you get Peter and Phil eras. Phil is the only one pictured on the back there of the lead singer notes. But anyway, it's pretty cool. It's a 24 track, like I said. Now, if you really want more music and you still do CDs, which a lot of people, customers of mine do, is the CD box set, which is 5 CDs. And this is 52 tracks. And it actually starts with 1970, Shepherd at Night Ride. And it goes, Nebworth, there's actually 6 tracks featuring Hold on My Heart and I Can't Dance. So this has more music. I think if they'd done this as a vinyl box set, it would have been huge and cost a lot of money. I don't know. There might be a larger version of it out there. That happens sometimes. I've seen that with like Grateful Dead and Bob Dylan, where they'll have a more immersive box set online and more expensive. Yeah, they want your money. Another box set, excuse me, of note. This is not vinyl. This is CD and Blu-ray. Alan Parsons Project. This is the album Turn of a Friendly Card. I think it's one of their best. Features the single Time, which I think was sort of a song a lot of people remember from the early 80s, and Games People Play was the other hit. Probably one of their best albums. And so it's got a lot of demos and early versions of tracks, and a Blu-ray with a surround sound version, which to progressive rock type fans, that means a lot. So, all right. Sort of exciting here too, a reissue of Elvis Costello and Burt Bacharach's songbook. I think they're calling it the Songs of. This is interesting because the vinyl features about 6 extra tracks on there. What they did was they took the Painted from Memory album, remastered that, and then put 6 extra tracks. The CD, again, a double CD, and it has something like 15 extra tracks. So, and some of them are by other singers. So it's songs that Costello and Bacharach wrote, and then other people sang them as well. Couple of cases, they're actually on the Painted for Memory album. So, not really sure why they did that, but I'm going to have to I'll listen to that at some point. But Painted for Memory was a great album. I don't know why they didn't just remaster that and then call the rest of it extra tracks instead of calling it the Songs of Bacharach and Costello. Maybe because they want to give Costello or Bacharach first billing. I'm not really, as a songwriter, I can't remember. I think originally it was Costello Bacharach. I could be wrong about that too. But anyway, great material. Costello was in sort of fine middle-aged voice at the time. I mean, I think he still sounds great. My favorite song's probably God Give Me Strength, which this is a good version. I like the one from the soundtrack of Grace of My Heart a little better. But also, I mean, it's just a very small details, like there's more drums or more orchestra, something. But this is a great version. This House is Empty Now. I Still Have That Other Girl. Really great balladry. So anyway, something sort of wistful and depressing about almost every Bacharach song, and Costello delivers it with just the right amount of pathos. So, and I really wish I'd seen some of his shows in New York recently, as some of my customers had. The 10 shows he did where he covered all of the songs from his career that he had never really played much live. We're talking 250 songs over 10 nights. I don't know how you keep all of that in your mind, keep it clear. And yeah, even if you're using a teleprompter, that's still a lot of music to remember. So anyway, especially for someone about 70. That's not an ageist comment, it's the truth. I can tell I'm getting older myself. I can't remember what I did like 5 minutes ago. All right. Andrew Hill. This is Dance of Death. Dance with Death. Dance of Death. This is a jazz record, Blue Note Tone Poet. Another produced by Rudy Van Gelder, mastered by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. And they do such a great series here. Everything is just really well mastered and pressed. And this was recorded 1968. 68. Anyway, Andrew Hill, very sort of like sought after in the Blue Note catalog lately. Keep seeing his name pop up. By the way, there for jazz people, there was an announcement, if you didn't see this, that Concord Jazz Group, the OJC recordings, early Miles, early John Coltrane, those are all also going to be remastered and repressed, not all of them, but many of them, by the people who've been doing craft recording stuff. So again, we're talking like the Bernie Grunmans and the Kevin Gray. I think Kevin Gray is doing most of them. But yeah, so I don't know. I think that starts in like either April or May. Can't remember the exact date. So it's another series. Now, last year, they started a series of contemporary records, and they really only got out a handful of records. So I don't know. Is it almost like biting off more that they can chew when they keep doing like catalogs and series? I mean, I think it's great for jazz people, but you know, it is a lot to keep up with. And as we've seen in the last few months, even keeping up with Tone Poet reissues has been a bit spotty at times, where they have like a couple extra weeks where we don't have one, or they only have one instead of two like normal. I think they've had some product delays. So, and our relationships with China and places like that probably don't help. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's getting more political. I'm really excited this is finally out. Phoenix Alpha Zulu. This was one of the best pop records of the last year, if not pop, then just a great record. Yeah, this came out on CD and streaming. I think it was on, I want to say like November. So it took 3 months or so. It was actually delayed. It was supposed to come out, I think, in January originally. I love the cover art. The album is super catchy. The first song, he's just doing a bunch of woo-ha. It's great fun if you like Phoenix or that kind of like, you know, alternative pop stuff. Great. Kali Uchis, Red Moon in Venus. Kali's sort of, want to say, kind of a Hispanic American type crossover artist. And she's great. I saw her open for Lana Del Rey. Ironically, it was in Philadelphia, and it was the night that the Eagles were, it was the final playoff game before they went to the Super Bowl, and they were performing at the venue right next door, and it felt somewhat sparsely attended because most sane people realized they didn't want to be down there on the night when that football game was going on. And we could hear a lot of screams coming from the stadium next door, so it kind of interrupted the vibe a little bit. But she was entrancing. I thought she was pretty like kind of played up the sort of like sensual aspects of her music. And anyway, I thought she was great. I guess if you're into like Sade or something like that, and you want something a little more sort of more Hispanic centric or Latina, you know, that would be up your alley. She's great. Shushu, Ignore Grief. Shushu's gone through many different iterations. I've got customer friends out there who are like not only like in contact with them, but have extensive knowledge of their catalog. This is a Silver Ghost vinyl. It includes free album download. Um, Not for the faint of heart, I don't think, but always interesting. So check out Shushu. Slow Tie. Here's another sort of hip hop kind of like more of a sort of, I don't know. I guess is it hip hop? It's indie. It's I don't know. It's not even really that either. I don't know how to describe Slow Tie. Maybe some of you can like be better versed at like distilling that for me. I haven't really listened to a lot of his music, but I've listened to some and I liked what I heard. But I don't know. You guys know by now the way I talk about music. I'm on what episode 124 or 125 here. I'm pretty open to a lot of kinds of music, especially for somebody who's not, um, younger. It's funny you come across all these articles that say people's music tastes switch off when they turn 30, and they don't want to hear anything new except what they did before that. And I think for the average person, that's probably correct. I don't know, but as somebody who's been doing this for 30 some years, then I just dated myself. I feel like I've been more open to it all along just because, and it probably would be like that in sort of, any field if you were in like visual arts or whatever. But anyway, that was sort of a digression. Wiz Khalifa and Big Crit, Smoke DZA and Girl Talk, the new collaboration album, Full Court Press. I think this has been getting pretty good reviews. See a lot of Girl Talk on there. Wiz Khalifa. Yeah. Anyway, check that out. Here's another record that's sort of been protracted release on vinyl. Bill Callahan. And it actually comes out on my screen as reality, but Italier, depending on how you look at that in the mirror image. But yeah. So Bill Callahan, singer-songwriter. That's been months in the works. Okay, so 90s alt rock chick gone blues artist Beth Hart. A bunch of reissues for Beth Hart. If you like her, this is 17 or 37 days. I almost said it 17 days. That's a Prince song. War in My Mind. These are all on colored vinyl, by the way. And My California. So Beth is sort of considered one of the top blues artists now, does a lot of stuff with Joe Bonamassa. Recently did an album covering a bunch of Led Zeppelin songs that was highly praised. So check those out. A reissue from Irma Thomas, In Between Tears. This is a RSD Essential release. This is on turquoise vinyl. She's sort of a blues icon. Old soul, stuff like that. This is pretty cool. This was actually done in 1970. All right. Okay, other sort of women of soul that I want to mention here. Roberta Flack, First Take. This is a great album. If you've never heard this, do yourself a favor. As much talk as we get for all of these other soul divas, Aretha, whatever, I think this first record for Roberta was just incredible. Les McCann helped her out on it a little bit as far as the group that she was playing with. But this has her version of The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. But you get a real sense of Roberta kind of coming out of the jazz scene and how she sort of transitioned into smooth R&B type stuff. But from a political, civil rights, and just the artistry involved, incredible. Speaking of Aretha, and that's on, I think all of these are on clear vinyl. Aretha's Lady Soul gets a repressing on clear vinyl. These are all to celebrate Atlantic's 75th anniversary. This is the one with You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman and Chain of Fools. So I think a lot's been said about Aretha, and one of my favorite artists of that era. Ironically, I was like, I don't know if I own this on vinyl. I've heard it several times. Dusty Springfield, Dusty in Memphis. This is the one with Son of a Preacher Man. Yeah, Just a Little Lovin', Breakfast in Bed, Windmills of Your Mind. Great album, clear vinyl. They're keeping the price sort of reasonable on these things. And then a couple other sort of random reissues and other things here. Ivy's Apartment Life, R.I.P. Adam Schlesinger. So if you're familiar with Fountains of Wayne, this was Adam's other band that was sort of popular then. I don't know if they were popular. They were sort of like indie popular. And great sort of like 60s inspired pop, little indie, but awesome. Let's see, Daisy Jones and the Six, the soundtrack for that film. It's sort of the soundtrack. This is sort of made up band in a way, featuring Elvis's granddaughter as the lead singer. They're sort of marketing them as like a Fleetwood Mac type thing. But yeah, I think this is an actual sort of movie soundtrack, or the songs that are featured in that film. And there are a bunch of reissues from Subhumans coming out. The Day the Country Died. These are all on purple vinyl. Let's see. Worlds Apart. And From the Cradle to the Grave. And I think there's a couple others coming out later this month, EPs and such. So there are those. Now, the one thing that I haven't shown, and everybody's probably like, where is it? They're like, where'd he go? We're watching his back here. Oh yeah, this. 3 Feet High and Rising, De La Soul. Well, finally, this is out on Friday. They cut our orders back like everybody. I can't remember exactly how many I ordered, but I think I got about a third of what I ordered. I know that the distributor got severely cut back too. The demand was so high for this that they had no idea what what they were dealing with here. So this is awesome that this is out. And it features The Magic Number. 3 is the magic number, and Me, Myself, and I are probably the two kind of biggest hits from it, I suppose. But what an iconic hip-hop album. And there is a CD available as well, and there's also a cassette. These will be very limited at first. I've been told that they're expecting many more in the next few weeks. So be on the lookout for that. And also April 7th, they're releasing De La Soul is Dead. So yes, everything is going to streaming tomorrow. But as far as I know, but they're going to sort of like let the albums sort of out a little at a time physically. I say that they're all out tomorrow. I don't know that for sure, actually. That's sort of what I've been told. But they could be just doing those little by little as well too. So all right, I don't know why I didn't feature that at the beginning of this. Probably because I know that it's going to be heavily sought after, and I know that there probably won't be enough to go around. So I would sort of consider picking it up as soon as it's close to opening tomorrow, and I wouldn't wait too long because I don't think they're going to be around much. All right. Continuing here with a few CDs, Frank Zappa. This is the Mud Club in Munich, 1979 and 80. Oh, it's just it's 1980. There's 2 CDs here and then a third CD of continuation. So there's really 3 liner notes by Steve Vai, mastered by Bernie Grundman. So I think this one is going to be sort of sought after. It's it's not break the bank expensive, which is sort of nice. Some of Frank's live sets are a little more pricey. This is Willie Nelson's new CD. I Don't Know a Thing About Love, the songs of Harlan Howard. And I don't know when the vinyl on this is coming out yet, but Willie's new CD, as Willie approaches 90, right? I think he's getting close. The Church, their new album, The Hypnagogue. I think I say that right. And The Church keep making records. It's awesome. Steve Mason, Brothers and Sisters, his new solo record. Steve has done some quality work. Mark Broussard, there's a name I haven't heard for a while. It's called SOS4 Blues for Your Soul, produced by Joe Bonamassa and Josh Smith. So who knows? Maybe Mark will be the next. I know he's got some New Orleans connections and whatnot, I think. But I think that's right. He'll be the next sort of Beth Hart. Who knows? Maybe Bonamassa will. Although I think Mark's already had plenty of success on his own before this. But Slade, Nobody's Fools, and The Amazing Kamikaze Syndrome. Two new Slade reissues on CD. I think there's probably vinyl in the works if it's not out yet. They usually do a pretty good job of bringing Slade stuff out. The Stranglers, Feline. There's a vinyl of this too, I believe, but this is a double CD, contains a bunch of bonus radio edits and 12-inch mixes and stuff like that. Reasonable for a CD, a double CD. And Connor Selby, who's a blues artist, and there's 4 bonus tracks on here, so it's 14 tracks. All right, I think that's pretty much everything I have new this week to show. The 2 things that I was thinking about, or 3 things. There are a couple more off records that are coming that are reissues of early albums. I think the self-titled and maybe Wasted Years. There's also 2 other reissues, very limited. One is Oingo Boingo, or just Boingo, which was a 90s Danny Elfman record on vinyl. And that is super limited, and I feel like every copy I'm getting is pretty much already spoken for because they were limited and people were asking right away. And the other one is En Vogue's Funky Divas, and that should be in shortly. And those are music on vinyl releases, color vinyl, and that's fairly limited too, I think. I have enough to cover the couple of few pre-orders. Can't remember. I have people that have already put in their names for those things too. So, okay. I think that about does it for this week. Yeah. Oof. Did I get through it all? It's sort of like I almost need like a map or like a teleprompter at this point. Be like, remember all this stuff? Because inevitably I always forget something. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm under half an hour. I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry, I've already got the Record Store Day orders in, but I'm sure I ordered, hopefully, plenty of what you're looking for. So it'll be a big deal. All right, start making your plans. Look at the list. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Peace.